What is going on, guys? Chris with Journos, Comics, and Pop Culture. I am at it again. I got a topic today that I've been touching on recently, and what you guys see on the screen are comments from a YouTube video, and we're going to dive into this. And guys, let me just say, first and foremost, all right, putting this out there, this is not an attack on a specific individual. This was a YouTuber that posted a comic book related video. And these were some of the comments that a viewer made and that this YouTuber replied. If this YouTuber happens to watch this video, contact me. If you want to talk about this, we could talk about this face to face. This is not to single people out and attack them. I just enjoy discussing these things. Now, I did leave all the names out. I don't want to put anyone on blast because I don't want anything negative. Now, this YouTuber, I think they're a good human being. Obviously, I don't know them. I have no ill will towards them. I just have opinions on their opinions on comic books, and I love talking about these things. So, to this YouTuber, if you see this, no bad blood. It's all respect. I would love to debate this with you face to face, but I will leave that up to you. I've actually commented on some of your videos. So if you want to have a interesting debate anytime, I'm all for it, and we can leave the debate, with mutual respect for each other, shaking hands. But I gotta call him out on this as something that needs to be addressed. So again, it's just like the video I did about pros and cons of Comic Tom in Gem Mint, and Gem Mint, got involved and expressed to me how he felt, and we talked about it, and it was mad respect. All right. So I just wanted to clear the air, get that out of the way. But let's go in to these comments. Now, before we read the comments, we have to put the comments into context. And that context is what this video was about. Okay. This YouTuber showed off some amazing books, a great lineup of books, books that they felt would increase in value. And I ultimately agree. Now, I don't agree how he titled the video. But basically this video, that's another story. But basically the video is about books to invest in because they're going to increase in value. And then this viewer made this comment, and I'm going to read it with you. You guys can see it on the screen. It's the top comment here. And it says, I kind of hate hype comics skyrocketing. It can't be helped. Only because no one cared about them for what makes them great. For example, my boy Taskmaster from Avengers 196, first appearance. I love the character, and it was jazz. He was created by George Perez months before he created Deathstroke. He's a fantastic villain, anti-hero to Avengers, Captain America, and became my favorite fighter in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. No one cared about him until he got announced as the villain for Black Widow. Now his book, being a mere being a mere $18 book, is now a $50+ book. Okay? Now, we could pick that apart, but let's just leave that be for now. Another person said that happened with Squirrel Girl. That's just another viewer. But these are the comments from the YouTuber themselves, okay? The YouTuber states, I know. I hate when it happens. It ruins it for us who actually like reading comics. I remember that happening with X-Force 2, which is the second appearance of Deadpool. I remember I got mine in a dollar bin, and now it has increased because it is the second Deadpool. I also kind of wanted the She-Hulk book. It's talking about Savage She-Hulk #1 from 1980. But now it is unattainable because of the damn announcement of the show. This is what I hate about comic collecting. All right, so take all that in for a minute. All right, there's a few things to point out here. And we're going to get into this YouTuber's comments in a minute, but let's get into the wording of the viewer. Talking about nobody cares about a comic book until there's movie hype, and he uses Avengers 196, the first appearance of Taskmaster, as an example. And he calls it a mere $18 book, and now it's a $50+ book because of movie hype. Let's bring something up on screen here. First off, this is my thing, guys, and no one's perfect. I get it, but let's not draw to a fact without fact checking. Let's not make statements without them being correct. This book has not been a mere $18 book in a long time. Okay? Way before the announcement of Taskmaster in the Black Widow movie. Look at the numbers here, guys. And to say that nobody cares about this book until the movie hype is BS. This book has been climbing basically just like any other decent key book from the Bronze Age. Now, I think Taskmaster is a little underrated. And I think that the value of this book should have been a little bit higher some years before. But the bottom line is you can see from 2008 to 2016, this book increased from a $7 to $8 book on average. And these are average sales data from those time periods. Okay. To 2016, it being a $75 book. And then about when did we get the announcement that Taskmaster was in? I believe it was maybe about a year and a half ago, early 2019. We saw more increases to $85, and now it sits at $130. So first off, it's not even a $50+ book. It's well beyond that now. It's well beyond that. So to the fact to sit and say that nobody cared about this book or this character until movie hype is complete BS. It's complete BS. 100% not factual. Nothing to back that up whatsoever. So let's get that out of the way, okay? Now, let's go back to the reply here by this YouTuber. He says, I know. I hate when that happens. It ruins us for those that it ruins it for those who actually like reading comics. Okay, guys. I've said this before. First off, if you really like reading comics and all you care about is reading that comic, there are multiple ways to be able to read that comic book without having to spend $50, $75, $100+ on a book that is now considered a key book and continues to increase in value. Okay? But my biggest issue here is this is a video that this YouTuber did discussing books to invest in that are supposed to increase in value. And you can't go wrong with investing in them. Yet in the comments of that same video, he's stating that he hates when that happens. And that he just likes reading comics. He talks about investing in all these key books that are just going to increase in time and value. But yet says, I hate that She-Hulk has increased in value because I wanted to get that book. It's the definition of hypocrisy here. So now let's just go back into what he's saying though. If you really want to read comics, and there's a comic that you just want to read, but you can't get your hands on it, there's other ways. I talked about this before. There's tons of reprints out there. There's tons of reprints, especially of key books. You can usually get your hand on some kind of reprint. Okay? There's digital books. Even if you're not big on digital books, if it's just one book and you just want to know what happens in that next issue, spend $2 to $3 and download a digital copy. And read the book. Another thing you can do is buy a trade paperback. A trade paperback at $15, $20 is probably going to be cheaper than the key itself. And you can get more than one book in that trade, right? Or you can find it used for even cheaper. Or you could go to a local library and find trade collections for free that you can borrow from the library and read for free for not a penny spent. And that makes me question again. You wanted the She-Hulk book. Why did you want the She-Hulk book? Did you want it after you knew it was going to be part of the MCU, the character? But because that made it jump in price, now it's unattainable and you're mad at that. Why didn't you have that book beforehand? And this is a YouTuber that has a decent collection. I've seen this collection. Why didn't you have that book beforehand? And you know what else? Marvel just reprinted this same book as a True Believers book about what, 2 months ago? 3 months ago? So actually the fact that it got Disney Plus MCU hype actually allowed you to get that book cheaper, because now you could just go buy a reprint of it for $1. And if you're only caring about reading the book, you're not going to care that it's a reprint, right? Or are you? Because really, your argument is just a facade to the fact that people are just upset that they can't get their hands on key books before they increase in value, which goes to the whole Miles Morales issue that's going on right now. Everyone's butthurt because you didn't buy the book when you could get your hands on it for 10, 20, 40, 50 bucks. And now you're mad. So what is it? You can't have your cake and eat it too. And to sit here and say, this is what I hate about comic collecting, but then you're using your platform. You're using your platform as a way to get clicks and views by making videos saying key comics to invest in that are going to increase in value. But yet you hate that aspect of the hobby. And there was even another video done where you stated that you don't want to, you're done collecting comic books because they're increasing in value. This is my thing. And like I said, if this YouTuber is watching, we can have a discussion on this face to face. I'm not here to paint anybody's character negative, but it just, to me, I have to stand up for the hobby. I have to stand up for those collectors that are new to the hobby and are innocent in a sense. And it's like, I don't like the fact that and I do feel this way. I feel that this video was made to get clicks and views. But yet, you're going to contradict yourself by slapping the hobby in the face and saying that you hate comic collecting because of these elements. So what is it? You hate comic collecting, but you're going to pimp the comic book industry and comic book fans to come watch your videos because you know that making a video stating key comics to invest in is going to get you thousands of views. I just don't find that ethically okay. And, again, it might be good intentions. The path to hell is paved with good intentions. Maybe this individual had nothing but good intentions. Seriously, I don't know. I mean, the individual has a solid amount of key books. So he's got to have some kind of love for the hobby. But I just think this is bad hypocrisy. And it's so negative to sit here and state false information by the original commenter. Nobody cares about these books until movie hype, and it's not true. I mean, we can go in here. We can go to She-Hulk. We can go to She-Hulk. Let's look up She-Hulk #1. Now, yes, over the last few months, what has it been? I think it's been a year now. Oh, August. Since last August, it's been 10 months about since this book was announced, or this character was announced, right? But look at this. Look at these values. Sitting around a $10 book, 2013, 2014. But it steadily increased, and as ups and downs, you can see, it went from 12 to 8 to 20 to 30 to 60 to 40, back up to 55, 75. And then when it was announced, we've seen it go from 75 to 125. People cared about this book. People cared about this character. This is a solid Bronze Age book with the first appearance of a solid Bronze Age character. This is what comic books do. And I'm going to state it like this, guys. I'm going to state it like this. Are you mad that Amazing Fantasy 15 is worth multiple thousands of dollars? Is that ruining the hobby for you or for any of us? Are you mad that Action Comics #1 sold for over $1 million? Because let me tell you something. If these comics didn't gain value and didn't increase in value over time, you wouldn't have any comic books to read today. And that's a cold, hard fact. Comic books weren't created. Even when the superhero genre was created in the late 30s. Even during the Marvel Age and Stan Lee's, I call it the greatest generation of comic books in the 60s. And when all that was going on. These books were made to be thrown away. For kids to read them, fold them in their pocket, until they were worn down and tossed in the garbage. If nobody ever saw the value in comic books, they wouldn't exist today. Modern comics would not exist today. At least how we know them. They wouldn't have lasted through the 80s. We wouldn't have seen all the characters that we have today, and they wouldn't be as big in movies and in television and multimedia as they are today. The simple fact that these comics continue to gain value, regardless if it's just because of residual increases over time or because of movie hype, regardless. They are the reason why there is still a hobby today. And we can't sit and overlook that because we never bought the book when it was $5 or $10 or $18. I'm sorry. And I can't sit here, like I said, I'm not being disrespectful, but I'm getting passionate about this because I can't sit here and allow people to talk about these things without putting my opinion out there. I feel I have to stand up for the hobby. I do. Like I said, this original commenter, it's false information. That's a lie. And I don't know if he intended to lie, but it's false. And to end this video, I would like to encourage this YouTuber to be more transparent. Open your mind up a little bit. I know it sucks when there's a book that we never got our hands on and it increased because of movie hype or whatever reason and we don't have it. Maybe say that. Just say it like it is. Yeah, I'm upset because I never bought it when it was low. But to sit here and say it ruins the hobby, it ruins it for us. Nobody's ruining anything. And to use the word hate, it's such a strong word. And we actually love comics and comic collecting. Certain things about the hobby might not be for us. But to say you hate it, I have major issues with CGC, but I do not hate CGC. I have major issues with slabbing, but I don't hate slabbing. I actually find some appeal in it. I absolutely can't stand, maybe I've used hate when it comes to some of the art in the late 90s. But, I'm trying to make a point. We got to be more open-minded, guys. And I hope that I made my point clear. We got to be careful with how we're perceiving the hobby and with speaking before we understand what it is we're really talking about. So with that being said, guys, I hope that you guys were able to take a positive out of this. Like I said, much respect to this YouTuber. Please contact me anytime. It's nothing but love and respect. And hopefully, maybe if we do talk in the future, it'll be a learning experience. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Subscribe if you have not done so yet. I appreciate you all. Leave some comments. And until next time.